Okay, guys, so wanted to come on here and show you a little something. Hold on for a sec. Sorry about that. Um, like I've said before, my mom is off right now. She's watching television. She seems to have good timing. I don't know what it is. But anyway, wanted to come on here, guys, and show you. Make sure you can see this. Something I don't know if I've done a video on it in a while, if ever. But this is the entire, and I mean the entire Chippendale Rescue Rangers fanfic or fan webcomic, the one that really is top tier in a lot of the fandom's minds, as well as top tier in the minds of anthropomorphic furry community, and that is Chippendale's Rescue Rangers of Mice and Mayhem. And this was done by Chris Fischer. Chris Fischer. He did all this. I think he wrote it and drew it, which is why it took a while to complete. But it is a long web comic, and as you could see here, when I printed it out initially, I think I printed this out a year or two before I moved back here. And this consisted, when I stapled it all together, of one, because you could consider this the first, the first issue and everything, and all that. You could consider this like the first issue, but it's like one. We're gonna turn this upside down here. It's like one, and then it fell apart a little bit here, but two, and everything, two. So yeah, it was one of those stories, but like one, like two, I should say, three, and again, it's the staples have to be restapled. Maybe get stronger ones down the line, but three, then four, which basically is right here. So four, five. Here's five of them right here. And then I think this one is six. There's six of them right here. And all that. So we got six right here. Six of them right here. And then of course seven. And the one thing that obviously, he was a fan of Chris Fischer, is basically who he would ship, who with. So we're looking, but before talking about that, what we're looking here, when you print it out, and all that, when you print it out, some of the movement there, but when you print this out, you're looking at essentially, depending like how much ink, black ink, color ink, that you might have, you are looking at essentially 6 to 7 issues worth of a webcomic. And these are a lot of pages. I think they were like 20, 15 pages each. So you're looking at an average of, let's see, 6 times 6 times 20. Hold on for a sec. You're looking at an average of 120 pages, if not 140, depending, or even 100, basically, depending on, like I say, how much ink, black and white, black and color, I see, black and color ink that you have, and how much papers your printer can store. So you're looking at, like I said, you're looking at essentially, 120, between 100 to maybe 140 pages of story here. And this came out, believe it or not, I can't remember when Chris Fischer did this story, but he did this back, I think, in the early to mid 2000s and everything. And it was one of these stories that, it didn't matter if you're a Rescue Ranger fan or not. This was a story that got people talking because it felt like it belonged in the Rescue Ranger continuity, but it felt like something that was meant for the older audience, basically for those that grew up on Rescue Rangers. That's what it felt like. That's what this, that's what this feels like, in my opinion. Just like people would say the Rescue Ranger movie that came out last year was aimed more for the older audience, for the generation that grew up with them, but took it in a Roger Rabbit, style direction. People would say the same about this, but on a more serious note. Like, this is more of a mature, more of a PG-13 level story, for of Rescue Rangers, meant for the audience that grew up on it. And I read through all of this when I first started to see it. I read through all of it. I think I was, I think I got into it as soon as it was like winding down and everything. So I was able to catch like the last parts of it, and it just hooked me. And I was like, I gotta print this out. And when I was, like I said, living in Kansas on my own, that's when I decided to do it. But again, it is definitely a lot more different than your average. As I just check the time here, it is way more different than your average Rescue Ranger. It's more different than your average Rescue Ranger story, fanfic story, and all that, because it is very. We'll put it this way: it's very, very violent in certain areas. Very, very violent. It's got maturity issues in it, and all that. It's one of those situations. Again, it's trying to work all this together. But like I said, it's one of those stories that it's, like I said, the mature factor in it, is, it's off the chain, if you will. It is off the chain and everything. Just by what they, present to you and all that. Again, sorry for the hitting of the mic, the tripod again. But again, it is very, it's a good story. But like I said, you could definitely tell it is more mature. It's more grown up. It's meant for the audience that grew up on Rescue Rangers. It's a lot darker in areas. And it's also funny. It's also funny at times. There's off comedic moments in there. But overall, it is a very complete package, in my opinion. I think Chris Fischer should be commended for what he did here. Now, what's interesting is obviously Ian Brill, probably, who did the official Boom Studios revival of Rescue Rangers, if you will, basically the continuation of the show for those 8 issues and the official Boom Studios release. Obviously, he read the issue. He obviously had to not read the issue, but read. Well, what I'm trying to say is, let me go right. Okay, what I'm trying to say is, obviously he had to have basically, read this and everything, and that's why he had the ideas that he did for certain pairings. Like, for example, I know it's here on the first page and everything. Like, it's one of the first pages anyway. But obviously, you could tell that the nurse idea. I mean, look at this. Tammy is a nurse. In the second half of the Rescue Ranger Revival, the issues 5 to 8. I think it was issues 5 to 8, I believe, or was it? Yeah, it was issues 5 to 8, I believe. In that issue, or in those issues, only at least the final 2 issues, Tammy came back and she was a nurse. And look, and this, and here of Mice and Mayhem is before that, and look what she is here. Coincidence? I don't think so. And then Foxglove and Dale being an item, in the comic, although in this webcomic, even though Ian Brill made them kind of on and off. Again, I think is that again, I believe, that can't be nothing more than a coincidence of inspiration. And of inspiration, I should say, that Ian Brill took from the story. So overall, in closing, you could definitely tell the impact that this story had, on the overall Rescue Ranger fandom, and the inspiration it gave people like Ian Brill when he wrote for the official Boom Studios Rescue Ranger comic, for those 8 issues. Because again, Tammy is portrayed as a nurse here, and everything. Foxglove and Dale together. I mean, to me, it can't be too much of a coincidence, in my opinion, that what we see here got implemented in some ways in the Boom Studios revival. So again, you could definitely tell the impact that this had. I've done some fan vids on it. I just got to look those up, probably put them at the end here. And people have also done, not done, but have also put the entire comic. I don't know if they've done motion comics or comic dramas of this here on YouTube as well, if you guys want to check that out. But overall, I just wanted to come out here and show you what I do show you that I do have this iconic story that again has made an impact and become an inspiration even for people that worked on official Rescue Ranger material in a comic form. But give me your thoughts, guys. What did you think of Mice and Mayhem when you first read it? Let me know down below. Super chats are open in the live chat during the premiere. And until then, I will talk to you later. But yeah, give me your thoughts. I'd love to hear what you have to say on this and everything. And what did you think about the story when you first watched it or read it?